Oh, yeah. Well, Joe's gone. And as you can see, I was like, he's not fucking around, right? Joe is actually creating a garden, right? Like, that's not the one. That's not the only one. That plot there, there's one on the other side. You see, there's a fence. It's just mostly just some wires strung across some poles. And like I did, it was like a tripwire, right? There was like a trip right at the end, and I hit it once. Boom! I almost bailed, right? But like, luckily, I'm fucking pretty savvy on my feet. But like, Joe cleaned up all this. Now, this doesn't do, like, I do appreciate it, but it doesn't help my cause really. Because the tall grass and the weeds and all the fucking refuse, like, it camouflages me, right? Like, it fucking makes it easier for me to duck and cover. But at the same time, I do appreciate it. Like, that guy worked fucking diligently. All throughout. Boom. This was all tall fucking grass, right? And he fucking cut it down. Like, he's probably, like, I don't know. I wouldn't fucking doubt that he planted these fucking trees here. This is like a fucking orchard or something. Like, these are like probably apple trees, maybe cherry trees. I don't fucking know. He's like fucking Johnny Appleseed, right? Now, there are resources that I intend to use, right? But I think he's picked some of those fuckers up, right? Like, for his own needs, because he had his own plans. Like, he was probably planning on doing this for a while, right? Like, it didn't look like it was the first season that has been done. And like, when we spoke, he said, like, I told him, I was like, look, I got respect for what you're doing. You're taking something that's unused, that's neglected, that's gone to waste, and you're turning it into something productive, right? You're turning it into something useful that maybe you could fucking help. Like, you're fucking doing it for the better, right? And he was like, yeah, man, like my grandfather fucking used to do. Oh, like, right on, right? Like, cheers fucking to that. So once again, I got a lot of respect for the guy. He's a fucking decent fella. Like, he's not punks or nothing, but everybody doesn't have to be fucking punk rock like me. Fucking most people aren't, right? Like, not fucking, like, just because I don't fucking agree with a lot of, like society and all that shit, doesn't mean I fucking necessarily think that everybody's bad and evil and fucking terrible and corrupt. They may be a little fucking nearsighted or fucking, like, the sheet over their fucking eyes or whatever the hell. But a lot of people are just fucking decent, right? Like, most people don't they just want to be treated, like, with respect, like, with fucking common courtesy, with, like, I treat people how I would like to be treated, right? And therefore, most people are the same fucking way. Now, not everybody is. There are fucking terrible fucking shitheads out there. But usually, that's how, like I said, I went out and I explained my situation. I did fucking startle them. Like, it happens all the time, right? Like, especially, say somebody's coming around a corner, right? And then they're not really fully paying attention. And I'm coming around the opposite corner, not, like, fully expecting them to fucking be there, right? And, like, I just see them as another regular person. But when especially when they're, like, distracted, say they got their fucking eyes on the phone, or, like, they're thinking about something else, and I pop around the corner, like, I am a weird fucking dude, right? Like, I look like something out of a goddamn, like, fictitious fucking fantasy tale. Like, that's not the case. This is reality. This is me. This is who I am. And this is how I don't fucking just dress up like this on the weekends, or whatever the fuck the case is. This is just my regular day-to-day fucking apparel, right? Like, it's what I'm fucking comfortable in. But most people have never seen that in their fucking life, right? The only time they've ever seen anything close to how I am is, like, on TV, right? Or in a movie, or in a book, or on a fucking video game, or something like that, right? Fuck them, you know what I mean? So when they do fucking, like, especially when they're unexpected, come across me, they're either really, really shocked, like their mouths drop and they go all pie-eyed, or they're scared, or they're fucked, they don't expect it, right? But anyway, I'm getting off the fucking topic. Yeah, Joe's a pretty fucking decent fella. And when he took off, like, he pulled up in like a van or a fucking, like, an SUV or whatever, like, to put his, like, weed whacker and shit in. So he's not close. He's not one of these fucking neighbors over here. But, like, I'm sure he's close enough. Or if he is one of the neighbors, he's not like one of these ones. Like, he's around the corner, because but anyway, Joe's a decent guy. And even though I didn't give him a fucking start, which I always think is kind of funny because I expect it. Like, when I went out, right before I made the decision to introduce myself and, like, you know, break the ice or whatever, I know how I am, right? Like, I know what people think, especially if Joe was fucking concentrating on weed whacking. He wasn't really paying attention to my shit and my surroundings. He was completely unaware of my existence, right? Right up until I popped out of nowhere, like some sort of fucking mystical fucking character. And I was like, "Oi!" And then you should have seen him jump, right? But like I said, I'm very personable and I'm very friendly, and I'm like disarming with my smile, and like I told him my full name, you know what I mean? And we were solid, right? We were fucking studs and spikes. And good on Joe. I really do appreciate that, because he could have went the wrong way, right? He could have freaked out. He could have ran for the fucking hills and called the fucking Gestapo, but he didn't, right? So there it is. Now, like I said earlier, it might have just could have been a sun shower, right? But you got to take these things in consideration. Now the fucking sky it's not completely fucking blue, cloudless. Like, there is a chance of fucking pitter patter, right? But over here it's pretty blue. So I think I'm alright. But at the same time, I still gotta figure out. Like, I do have a bunch of like fucking raw material that I can fucking figure out. Like, I've had, like, before I just did the polls, I got other things, right? Like, I got like different strategies. Or like, I never think of just one way to do things, right? There's only one and only fucking way. Like, I think of like maybe the most optimal way, or what I could do at the time, or like what I can do to like do at the time to facilitate more of an optimal way, right? Like, it's not just one thing. Like, look at Headsy over there. Like, you see what I was talking about battle scars and pulling through you with the shit? Like, Headsy, first off, I bought it at the dollar store. I bought the head at the dollar store. There's a whole row of them. I just picked one at random and I paid for it. And it was like $4.50. Now, it was pristine white. It didn't have like the black and silver eyes. It didn't have the fucking spike in its head. But like before the eviction, it didn't have the tie or anything like that. Before the eviction, it was like pristine white. Like, it was shiny, it was new. Like, it didn't have the fucking injuries and the battle scars, the fucking soot on it and shit. But his Headsy's gone through with it, me. Like, it's a pretty new fucking member of the crew, but not anymore. And now it's got the character, right? Like, I've spoken to it, and I've tried to take as good care of it as possible, and I've shown it respect and appreciation, and I've added a life of its own, right? Like a soul and like a spirit and a personality of its own. There's only one Headsy. Sure, it started off as just another pristine fucking white styrofoam head on the fucking dollar store shelf. But now is it? Fuck no. There's only one Headsy. And I don't really have it that way, right? Like, I don't want any other fucking Headsies. I can't afford $4.50 or fucking hold on to a bunch of heads. Like, I'm pretty good at juggling, but styrofoam is light, right? You need a little weight. But this was the point. Yeah, look at Headsy. Say hello. I do fucking really appreciate its fucking ongoing. Do you see? I couldn't do this. Like, you might think, like, oh, what's the point of having this little bunny rabbit or fucking like Pumpkinhead or Jack Bucket, or like even all the other shit that I have, like all the other fucking variantes SSSs. Like, why does it help them? Because they're part of the crew, right? They may not, like, it might not be like a tool, like that pair of fucking goddamn cutters that I fucking facilitated the other day that I fucking acquisitioned. Like I was saying, that was the essential tool that I needed. I need it to cut, like, I'm gonna cut a fucking door in this fence, right? And it's required. It's a fucking essential piece of equipment that is required. I'm not going and cutting out bike locks or fucking cutting off bolts of fucking doors or nothing, but I need it to cut certain things, right? And that was, like I've mentioned previously, that was the fucking chip choppity choppers that I fucking required. So I got them, right? Like, I fucking went out, I mined some more, I got them. But all that aside, I'm fucking stretching this out, and like, I do have a new memory chip, but it doesn't last forever. So I guess up the punks, right? Up the punks. Oh yeah, one more thing. Look at this. Now, I grabbed the plastic bags, but I found this in a garbage the other day. This is like, I don't know, you see the bondage rings? And like, it's really solid material. I got a bunch of this. Like, I used it for my seat over there so I wouldn't get all fucking moist. I grabbed that just the other day. Fucking right. Alright, up the punks. That's fucking arrivederci.